Okay, welcome to the 90-day consistency challenge. This is day one. Let's get straight into it. So we're going to be doing core today, and we're going to start off with little curl ups. So when we do these little curl ups, I want you to come down to lying down. That's the safest way possible for you. So if you're early or postpartum, it might mean lying to the side and then rolling onto your back. And if you're a little bit further along and have good control of your core, then it will probably mean that you just lie down. So first we're going to take a nice big inhale, do some diaphragmatic breathing, breathe wide through the rib cage. And then as we exhale, I want you to lift through your pelvic floor, draw the belly down, draw the rib cage down, and lift the head towards the ceiling. And you're going to look down into the belly button in between your legs and then come back down. So these are little controlled curl ups. They're going to be our warm up. We're going to be doing this for the first minute of the workout, and then we're going to build on this each minute. Alrighty, so in 3, 2, 1. Inhale, exhale, lift through the pelvic floor to come up. So what we're thinking of here is we're doing a nice abdominal draw in and using the pelvic floor to help us lift up. So what you might find is that you can only really lift the head and look down. That's fine. We're going to build that reconnection. Or you might be further along. And when you do the curl up, more of your back is off of the floor. But what we don't want to see is that there's any doming or bulging in the core. What we want to see is that the core stays nice and flat towards the mat, and that you don't see what looks like a Toblerone bar down the center line of the tummy. So inhale. Exhale. We've got about 20 seconds left. And what this does is this brings the rectus muscles together, so those abdominal muscles together. Good. Let's try and get one more rep in. Brilliant. We're going to roll over to your right-hand side or left-hand side, whichever one is facing me. Stack your elbow right underneath your shoulder, hips in line with the shoulder, and then we're just going to lift. So we're going to exhale, draw that belly in, lift through the pelvic floor, lift, and then come back down. So with these lifts, what I want us to focus on is not just coming up and down like this. I want you to be pushing your hips back and then pushing your hips forwards, staying strong through here. So you're not slumping in between each rep. Good. We've got about 30 more seconds left. Exhale as you come up, keeping the knees together, squeezing the bum at the top, and keeping that belly drawn in, pressing through that bottom hand. Exhale. Exhale. And what we want to feel is like the whole right side of the body is doing the work. All right, last 2 reps. Exhale. Brilliant stuff. On to the other side. So left arm stacked, knees bent. We're going to inhale, exhale, draw belly in, and then lift up. So when we think of training the core, we don't want to think of it in one movement or one plane of movement. What I want you to be thinking of is I need to challenge my core in so many different ways. So right here, we're working on the side of the core, the obliques. We're also getting our glutes in. We're getting some arm strength in. And if this is really challenging for you, just go slower. So think about lifting up, holding for 1 second, controlling back down. We're trying not to plop back down. We're trying to use the strength that we have. And if you're finding this really challenging, don't worry, it'll get easier over the weeks. And if you're finding this really easy, don't worry, it will get challenging. 3, 2, 1. So now we're going into knee hovers. So we're going into all fours position, shoulders stacked on top of the wrists. And all we're practicing doing is inhale, let the belly go. You're going to exhale, lift through the pelvic floor. See how the belly disappears? And then we're going to lift and hover so that we can practice taking pressure back into the core and working back up to a plank. So we're going to lift and then control back down. Off we go. Exhale, lift through pelvic floor, draw belly in, lift the knees. So I also want you to be thinking about pressing through the shoulders, that we're not sunk in the shoulders and feeling it in the neck. Good stuff. Inhale, exhale, lift through pelvic floor, draw belly in, press up. Inhale. Exhale, lift through pelvic floor, draw belly in. And the point we want to get to is basically that we can do this without using that big inhale in between to reset the core. Inhale, exhale, draw belly in. Good stuff. Final 10 seconds. Exhale, draw belly in. Inhale, exhale. Oh, nice. Okay, that was round one. We're going to go in for a second round, starting off with our sit backs. So inhale, exhale, tuck through the pelvis, draw the belly in, come back down as far as you can, and then drawing back up. Exhale. So people get really nervous about working through the core this way, but we're basically training your sit up, which is all it is getting off the floor with flexion and then coming back up. Exhale, tuck and round. Inhale to come back up. And I want you to use the pelvic floor to help support you. So you're supporting yourself from the inside out. So lifting through the pelvic floor, drawing the belly in, and then exhale. Now do a rep where you don't do either of those things and you just try and lean back. That's really challenging for the core. So use the pelvic floor, draw the belly in. Exhale. Good. Last 5 seconds. Let's do 2 more. Exhale. And back up. Last one. Brilliant stuff. Okay, coming on to side plank. We are going to be, coming on to side plank. You can do this forearm or you can do it extended, whichever feels more comfortable for you. We're going to be lifting up now onto that side. We're going to lift one arm up and we're going to try and crunch the knee out. If you need to rest in between, feel free to go ahead and do that. Otherwise, we are just going for continuous reps. So as you extend out, I want you to think extending through the side of the body, get a nice big stretch. You're staying strong through that bottom arm. And then as you bring the elbow towards the knee, you're going to exhale and draw the belly in. Okay, brilliant stuff. We've got about 20 seconds left. Exhale. Good stuff. Really strong. Really, really strong. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Brilliant. Okay, swapping over onto the other side. Right arm extends. We lift up through the bottom leg. And then off we go. Big inhale. Exhale. So remember, if this is too challenging, just go to the first option that we did at the beginning of the workout. So where you were like this, and you were just practicing lifting. Just practicing lifting. There is no shame in working to where your body is. Good stuff. Last 30 seconds. And I always think that with exercise, it's always mental. So if someone says, oh, 30 seconds left, break it up into, right, how many reps am I going to get in 10 seconds? And then multiply that by 3. Brilliant stuff. Last 10. Good. Remember to breathe. Exhale. And if in doubt, just exhale. 3, 2, 1. Good. Okay, back to our plank progressions. So now we are going to be, now to our plank progressions, we are going to be in that hovering position, and then we're going to press back. So you're going to inhale, exhale, draw belly in, lift the knees, hold for 1 second. Then we push back so the knees are close to the thighs, and my arms are straight, but my legs stay bent. And I'm going to exhale, and I'm going to try and hover. If this is too challenging, just come down in between. Inhale, reset. Exhale, draw belly in, press back, hover forwards, come down. Inhale, exhale, draw belly in, press back, come forwards. Let's try 2 more reps. Inhale, exhale. So really strong pull on the core and the pelvic floor. This might also feel like a lot for the shoulders and neck and arms. Don't worry, we've got yoga coming this week too. And if you can't do this, remember, just go back to the progression that we did before. Just the knee hovers. Alrighty. Final 4 minutes. We're gonna start from the sit back position. We're gonna inhale here. Exhale. Now you're going to open up, rotate as much as you can, and then back up. Inhale, exhale. Look towards the elbow. Exhale, lift through pelvic floor as you twist and rotate. Exhale, twist and rotate. Exhale, twist and rotate. So we want to think about, why are we training the core in this way? So I need to be able to rotate and stretch through the rib cage, use the obliques and the transverse abdominis to help with rotation so I can stay strong in positions I wouldn't necessarily think that I need to. Exhale, rotate. Not just aesthetic, but functional. Last 3 seconds. Couple more. And rest. Nice, good. Okay, coming back to our side plank. So we did it on the forearm last time. Now we're gonna try and do it from a straight arm. If you can't do it from the straight arm, no stress, okay? Go back to this, or you go back to your normal lifts. Ready? In 3, 2, 1, we're here. We're extending, we're exhaling and coming back out. Ooh, wanna make sure that I'm fully stacked on top of that shoulder. I actually find this easier than the forearm because you're further away from the ground and it feels like there's more stability. You're less scrunched up. It's easier to press through the hand than it is for the forearm, for me anyways. Good, you're doing so good. So many crunches, scrunches. Last 15 seconds. Good, 10, 9, big inhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good stuff. We're going to the other side. On to flat palm, shoulder stacked on top of wrist. Off we go for a minute. So I think with this, you want to focus on being to the side rather than being hunched over to the front, because that's going to give you something different. I'm trying to lengthen and open up through your side. So whenever I do any extension, lateral flexion, I want to think about opening up through my rib cage, stretching those intercostal muscles, the muscles between the lungs, between the rib cage. And then nice big breaths. And then every time you exhale, think about drawing the belly back in towards the spine. You got 10 more seconds. You're doing so good. Then we have one more exercise and then you're done for the day. And then you did it. You did day 1. 3, 2, 1. Good stuff. Rest. And then the last one we're going to do is we're just going to try and do a hold. So we're basically trying to get pressure back into the core. We're going to see if we can hold for 60 seconds. If 60 doesn't happen, what I want you to think of is holding for 10 seconds, coming back down, lifting back up. Alrighty, ready? So that nice position, inhale, exhale, lift through the pelvic floor and core, draw the belly in, lifting the knees. So if you're earlier postnatal, what I want us to do is we're just going to push through the shoulders a little bit more. A little bit of shaking is okay, but you don't want to feel pressure in the core of the pelvic floor. So this is 15 seconds. Why don't we come back down or continue going on if you're a bit further along and strong. Inhale, exhale, lift through pelvic floor and core, lift back up. So the idea is that you are building up in small increments, taking pressure back into the core. Good, 5 more seconds, and that's another 15. Hold on, you can do it. 3, 2, 1, good. All right, exhale, lift through the pelvic floor. We're gonna do our last one together. Lift up, 15 seconds. Calm thoughts. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. Well done, you did it.